Everyone, good morning. My name is Madison with Future Farm Hemp in Baldwin, Wisconsin. I'm just here to introduce myself as well as Future Farm for those of you that are new around here, so welcome. We'd like to address a few different topics in the upcoming weeks and months through these videos, so if you have any questions or concerns about CBD, the hemp industry, cannabis in general, please feel free to reach out and we'd be happy to chat with you and address those concerns for you. I want to start with a brief history because I feel like it's not as well known as it should be. It's pretty great. Future Farm Hemp started as Future Farm Grown in 2010, and they produce hydroponically grown lettuce, herbs, and greens, and those can be either delivered to you or you can find them in some awesome restaurants and venues in the area. So the next time you're out and about, keep an eye out for those. I'll touch on what the 2018 Farm Bill actually is, but when it passed, for starters, Future Farm Grown took what they had learned about growing veggies hydroponically and applied that to the hemp industry. So there was a lot of trial and error, but they were excited out the chute and really have made some great progress. So that's how Future Farm Hemp came to be today. The 2018 Farm Bill is the first piece of federal legislation that legalized hemp and removed it as a Schedule I controlled substance. So what that means nationally for the United States of America is that we can cultivate hemp, we can sell it, we can consume it, we can study it more on a deeper level, and what that allows us to do is potentially discover more benefits than we already know it carries for us. So there are no longer as many limitations for the study of hemp and CBD, which is really great, both for the medical community, those just interested in agriculture or horticulture in general. So it's very exciting. The goal from the start at Future Farm Hemp was to supply seedlings to farmers throughout the Midwest. Farmers that want to grow hemp for themselves and create an end market there to really bulk up our economy when it comes to agriculture and horticulture. It's a great venue. It's a great thing for people to start and get their hands dirty. There's a lot of support here, and although it's a fairly new program, there's a lot of people that can help you out and answer the questions that you may have to get you started. So through the seedling venture, they actually ended up creating a system where we can buy back product from farmers and create CBD products from that actual crude product, which is what you end up with after you grow, harvest, and dry a hemp plant. So that's made into CBD products, hemp-derived CBD products locally, and if anyone has any questions about those, I'll touch on them in a later video as well. I want to go over exactly what CBD is and how it works because there are so many misconceptions when it comes to hemp, CBD, cannabis, what the difference is, what the benefits and risks are, and it's important to know, for one, exactly where your product is coming from. It's important to know that it has been tested, and it's important to know exactly what you are putting in your body because health and wellness starts from the inside, and you can't do that with a faulty product. CBD, the difference between CBD and the psychoactive cannabis plant that I'm sure most people are familiar with, is that they're the same plant. They both come from the cannabis sativa plant. There is a psychoactive effect to some and there is not. So the distinguishing difference is actually just their genetic composition. And it sounds really big and scary, but we'll dive deeper into that in a later video. But what I want you to know is that CBD is a compound in the cannabis plant. It's something that's naturally occurring. And hemp plants and marijuana plants are, like I said, they're the same thing. So legally in the state of Wisconsin, where we're located at least, hemp is defined as a cannabis plant that contains less than 0.3% THC. So that is that psychoactive effect that in other states may be legal, maybe medically, maybe recreationally, but the distinguishing factor is the genetic composition of that plant, whether that be indoor grown or outdoor grown. All sorts of variations and things you can do with them. The factor that divides this plant into the two categories is the amount of THC within that plant. So THC, like CBD, is a molecule that gives that plant the psychoactive effect and the ability to produce it. So here in Wisconsin, we use hemp-derived CBD to make sure that all of our products and all of our plants stay below that 0.3% THC cutoff. Always make sure you check your state bylaws and check your guidelines, especially if you're traveling. You just want to make sure you know exactly where you stand and what you're capable of doing, buying, and using at any point. So one of the biggest questions I personally get asked is the difference between full spectrum and broad spectrum CBD. So CBD is CBD in general. I think we all know that, but there are different categories of things that may tailor you, may suit your needs better than the other. And if we can get to the root of that sooner than later, why wouldn't you? Full spectrum versus broad spectrum. So full spectrum is it contains all the cannabis compounds, including terpenes, flavonoids, all the stuff that make hemp or CBD. It smells and tastes the way that it does. You get that people consider it a hempy smell, a grassy smell. Earthy is a good way to describe it. But all of these compounds work together inside your body when consumed to target either inflammation, a specific disorder or condition, and even for the calming effect. If you're just looking for stress and anxiety relief, all of those compounds work together within your body to target that. And that's a full spectrum CBD, either tincture, edible. We'll go over that in a minute too, but that's full spectrum. Broad spectrum is going to be a CBD that contains several of the cannabis plant compounds, but it's typically free of THC. THC, that's the cannabinoid responsible for the psychoactive effect, and with broad spectrum products, usually it's remediated and it's hard to explain in a term that doesn't mean boiled off, but it essentially means that they remediate that THC to leave you with all of the compounds besides that one. Both are great options for people. Some people see better results with one over the other, and some people can't even tell a difference. So I like to think of THC in full spectrum products to be equivalent to cough syrup, alcohol and cough syrup. It's a very minuscule amount, and it just works hand in hand with the other components to target what you may be looking for. It's not always necessary. A lot of people see great results with just the broad spectrum tincture, so we like to keep it as an option. And it is important to talk about because, like I said before, you need to know exactly what's going into your body if you're going to take charge of your health and make decisions for yourself. I think that's very important, and it's important for us to talk about the different options you do have, both within our company and with any CBD or hemp product in general. There's a lot of snake oil out there, as you would say. There's a lot of unlabeled, untested product that will potentially do more harm than good, as with anything, medication, food, anything like that. You want to be able to be confident in it and know that it will help you, or at the very least, not make things worse. I wanted to touch on the methods of use because there are quite a few of them. Tinctures, topicals, edibles all sound like kind of a scary thing to get your feet wet in if you haven't experienced it before, but I truly believe that there's something out there for everybody. So trial and error is a good thing. And I would like to say that tinctures, for me personally, work the best because they're it's a concentrated form of CBD or hemp-derived CBD that works systemically throughout your body. So it can target inflammation, which is the main cause of pain and discomfort. As most of you know, stress relief, anxiety relief, it all works sublingually. So you'll actually put it under your tongue. We like to recommend you hold it there for 1 minute to 2 minutes, and 90 seconds is the sweet spot. So it's actually absorbed into your bloodstream the quickest because that skin under your tongue sublingually is very sensitive, just like around your eyes and your mouth. They come in all sorts of flavors, all sorts of strengths, full spectrum, broad spectrum, anything your heart desires, there's something for it, I guarantee it. But I'd say that that's one of our most common methods of use, along with topicals. So topicals, like a lotion or a balm, it actually works on the surface of your skin and goes through the dermal and subdermal layers of your skin, so it doesn't just sit on the top. And it shouldn't make your skin greasy, it shouldn't have a gross feeling, but for those targeting, say, muscle pain, joint pain, muscle recovery, you're looking for a very specific area for it to work, so you apply it directly to that area and you should see some relief. If not, I would try a different product, I would try a different strength. Ask your local expert. We'd be happy to talk to you about your options. Edibles also are another thing that go hand in hand. Edibles can look like anything from cookies to chocolate to cake. Doesn't always have to be unhealthy, but a lot of the time we see the cookies and gummies come in, and it can be a great option for people who want a very regimented dose of CBD in their diet. So say you want 25 milligrams twice a day and you don't have to worry about measuring it out or trying to weigh it, and you want to be very concise about it, edible is a very good option for you. A lot of the time they can just look like a gummy. They come in hundreds and hundreds of shapes and sizes and colors, and all the good stuff. So it's actually broken down in your system over a matter of hours and slowly digested with the food that's already in your stomach. So always take medication with food to make sure you don't get an upset stomach and to make sure that that medication can be absorbed correctly for you. The effect may not be immediate, as with tinctures, because it's not absorbed directly and immediately. But it does tend to last a little longer for most people than other methods, because as your stomach's digesting it over time, it's a slow release method there. It does all depend on the product, though, the environment, your metabolism, what you've eaten that day, your genetics play into it. A lot of the time, it's just trial and error, like I said, to see what works for you and what doesn't work for you. So a lot of things can play into how you react to CBD. Smokable flower is actually another option for those that would prefer to have the inhalant aspect of it. It's actually just the hemp flower itself. So when we grow plants, we harvest it, we cultivate it, dry it, and package it, and that can be sold in any number of increments. But it's actually just the hemp flower itself. It sounds a little scary to people to be smoking something, but we've seen great results for people who really want that immediate inhalant effect. It does smoke into your lungs like a normal smoking device would. You can also integrate it into baked goods, which I think is interesting. It can be dried, and we'll go into that in another video, but it can be digested, it can be smoked, it can be applied, it can be dropped. There's a lot of different methods you can use to get the result you want or are looking for. And a lot of the time, if something isn't working for you, your body just isn't accustomed to it yet. There's no harm in changing dosages, flavors, methods of use. It's all yours to play with, and it's all yours to explore. So I highly encourage you to just look up a little bit, if you're even remotely curious, what may work for you in the future. It should also be noted that there's been great success in treating companion animals, cats, dogs, horses, not so much fish, with CBD, because they have the same type of system we do to actually digest it. The endocannabinoid system opens your CB1 and CB2 receptors, and that allows your body to heal and get to a level of homeostasis. So phytocannabinoids that you may be missing out on that the hemp plant includes, as do tinctures, edibles, even topicals, smokable flowers, sometimes are digested by your endocannabinoid system, put through your system, and that's why CBD and hemp works for people. Horses, cats, and dogs also have that kind of system, a little bit different, of course, but it all works the same way. And they also deal with inflammation, stress, anxiety, all the things that humans deal with, and we shouldn't necessarily have to. So if we can make that a little bit easier for them, we should. There are endless possibilities there with humans as there are with animals. There's so much to talk about. There's a lot of exciting things. There's a lot of things coming out in the news as well, so we will keep you updated on any new articles, any new studies we find coming out. Also, I'd like to just put out there that we are happy to talk anytime and answer any questions you may have. I know for some people this can be a little bit of a scary, maybe not so scary, but uncomfortable topic to talk about because it's been so taboo for so long. But we're in a new age. It's a new day. We are looking forward to more natural and holistic ways to take care of ourselves. Hemp is a great way to add to your preventative health daily diet. It can do so many things for you, and I'm really excited to talk about it with everyone. So please give us a call. I'll attach all of our contact information as well as any frequently asked questions we may have gotten in through this video. And I really hope to talk to you all soon. Have a great rest of your week. Thanks.